Hello, today we are brewing espresso with the Flair Pro2 using Hunkel Coffee Tiger Reserve, which is a 80-20 Arabica Robusta blend. Starting with the most underrated part of any brewing recipe, preheating. Preheating is very important with the Flair Pro2. This is what the Flair Pro2 case comes with, and this is the brewing chamber along with the filter basket. So we'll separate the two. For now, we will put the shower screen and the filter basket aside. This is the brewing chamber of the Flair Pro2, and the stickers that you can see, the temperature reading that you can see on it is an extra accessory. It's a sticker that you can put on the chamber. So this chamber weighs around 650 grams. So it is very essential to preheat this, and this is the filter cap it comes with. So this is a silicone filter cap which we will put at the bottom of the chamber and then pour hot water from the top to preheat the chamber. So considering such a heavy weight of the brewing chamber, it is very essential to preheat it, and it can get very challenging to brew with this in winters because room temperature is much lower and the preheating can be ineffective in such weather. The water that we are pouring into the brewing chamber is at 95 degrees Celsius, and now we'll just put this aside to preheat. Because preheating can be a long process, so we'll just start with it and let the chamber preheat while we can prepare the espresso puck. This is the coffee that we are using today, Hunkel Coffee Tiger Reserve. This coffee is roasted by Thogari Hunkel Estate itself, and this is the history of the estate on the back of the pack. They are based out of Chikmagaluru in Karnataka, and around the bottom there is the contact information, as you can see, so you can reach out to them if you wish to order it. I read this quotation somewhere long ago. So 70% of how your coffee tastes like depends on the grinder. So you need an espresso ready grinder to brew with the Flair Espresso. So we are using Comandante C40 Mark III. This grinder is equipped with the RX35 red clicks. It's an accessory by Comandante for high precision grinding, especially for espresso. To save time, I've already grinded the coffee and I'm just putting it back together for the sake of it. The grind size I have used is 18 clicks with the red clicks, which with the normal axle without the red clicks it will be 9 clicks. That in the background is the other grinder that I use for brewing with AeroPress, and I have tried brewing shots with the Flair using this grinder. This is the Timemore C2. I tried brewing shots at 9 clicks with this grinder. The shots are not perfect. They are not even close to perfect, which is why I got the C40, especially to use with the Flair. So C2 is not a bad grinder. If you are brewing only dark roast, you can get by just with the C2. Now, as we have already grinded the coffee, let's move forward with preparing the filter basket. As you may already know, traditionally the diameter of filter baskets used in espresso machines or the newer variants of Flair, for example the Flair 58, is 58 mm, but the basket that we are using with Flair Pro2, so basket or portafilter, whatever you may want to call it, is correct. This is 46 mm, so it's a little shorter than the 58 mm basket. So all the accessories that you would use for your regular espresso machine are not compatible with this. This is a funnel that comes with the Flair, so putting the filter basket on top, then the funnel, and then the grounds catch of the grinder. This is to transfer the coffee grounds into the filter basket, and obviously tapping it to make sure all of it gets out. So after transferring the coffee into the filter basket, we'll just give it a good shake so it can settle down. As you can see, the coffee grounds are slightly more than the filter basket can handle. So these coffee grounds will likely fall out at some point of time. So I'm using a small kitchen towel to keep things clean in my kitchen because I like peace. This is not the traditional way of doing things. Some people may do it differently, some people may, I don't know, do something else, but this is how I do it. We'll just move the excess coffee away. Don't worry, we're not throwing it. We'll put it in plants or we'll use it for skin exfoliation. It won't go to waste. Now the coffee is in the basket. Let's start preparing the puck. Putting the funnel back because now we'll be using the WDT tool, Wise Distribution Tool for wise people. So the fire flame logo that you see on top is the logo of Glencairn Brewing Tools, the seller of these machines in India. They also make custom accessories for the Flair Pro2, Flair 58 or everything that they sell. The objective of using this tool is to make sure that all the grounds are equally distributed in the filter basket, because if we don't do that, there is a risk of channeling an espresso into which you have put so much effort is a big disaster or a disappointment. So I don't like those. We're just petting the portafilter again to make it feel nice. And so now we've put it back, and now we will be using the Glencairn distributor. Also, it's not, Glencairn is the manufacturer of this, that is why I'm calling it that. Other than that, it's a normal distributor meant for the Flair. So because Flair filter basket is a 46mm basket, one has to make a custom distributor for this size, because 46mm is not a popular size for espresso filter baskets. The standard size is 58mm. You can easily get a 58mm distributor, but not a 46mm. So big thanks to Glencairn Brewing Tools for making these tools, which make my life a lot easier. So the objective of using this is to make sure that all the grounds are equally distributed and stably placed in the filter basket, and the top is flat. Now we will tamp it. It's ready for tamping. Tamping is basically pushing the grounds and to create further resistance with the water, so it can be extracted at the desired pressure. This is the tamper that comes along with the Flair. This is a 46mm tamper again, because everything is 46mm here. So it comes stock, you don't need to buy it separately, because getting parts for the Flair is challenging in itself already. So just push it right enough, make sure it is stable. So parallel to the ground is also another way to call it stable. So if you've pushed it hard enough and it is parallel to the shelf, then you've done your job and tamping is done. Now moving on to the next step, we'll put the filter screen on top. Just putting the grinder away, clearing the space out here, so mainly to avoid confusion on what are we doing with so much stuff around. Putting the Flair carrying case away as well, because now is the time to get to brewing. So this is the filter screen. It comes with the Flair itself. You don't need to get it separately, because why would they do that to you? So it is, I think, thinner holes on one side and broader holes on the other side. I have tried brewing it with either sides on top. I don't know the science behind it. I will share it when I get to know it. So you can place it either way, but considering the two sides are so different from one another, there must be a right way to do it. Our filter basket is ready, and now it's time to check the brewing chamber. It must have heated by now. So it's very hot right now. So I'll just dump the water and prepare for brewing. This is the silicone cap that we had put at the bottom. So this is strong enough to take water at 100 degrees and meant for preheating the chamber. So you don't need to worry that I'm using a rubber cap, it will get spoiled or whatever. There is nothing to worry like that. Now we've mounted the brewing chamber on top of the filter basket. Now let's just get it over with. Now I'm putting the filter basket and the brewing chamber on top of the Flair stand. We'll just clear the space, get rid of the excess stuff, and now we'll be pouring hot water into the brewing chamber for it to pre-infuse. Pre-infusion is a stage where the hot water meets with the coffee grounds, not at a pressure, just heating it. While the chamber is hot already, but you need to ensure that there is minimal time between pouring the water and mounting it so that there is no loss of temperature. This is the pressure gauge that comes with the Flair. So as you can see, there are pressure signages of 5 bars, then espresso, then 10 bars. So anywhere between 5 and 10 is good for espresso. Traditionally it is 9 bars. You can push it accordingly, but once you get to use it, you understand how this works. One of the great benefits of having a pressure gauge is pressure profiling. It is something you can look it up on Google. It's a great experience when experimenting with pressure profiling. I got this Glencairn whiskey nosing glass especially to brew with the Flair, but obviously I didn't think things through. And now I've placed wooden boards to the front and the end because Flair is unstable in itself already to be able to place this glass below it. Now we are pushing it downwards, pre-infusing it at 5 bars and then push it all the way to 9 and 10, obviously lower than 10, between 5 and 10, just keep pushing it. As you push it, you get the response on the handle on whether there is space to push more or whether you should be going slow. So as per the response, just keep it between 5 and 10. That is the golden range for espresso. Traditionally this is a whiskey nosing glass, single malt nosing glass, but I had a feeling that brewing espresso would look great in this. I was bored with my traditional espresso cups, so let's see how this goes. So we're done brewing the espresso, and as you can see, the shot looks amazing. There is a thick layer of crema on top, which does not seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. So I've removed the additional wooden boards that I had put. Now on to tasting it. As you can see, the extraction is on point. The espresso is as it was intended, as it should be with such a coffee. It's a medium dark roast, 80-20 Arabica blend. Looks amazing to me. Hope it does look the same to you. Now on to tasting it. It tastes fierce. So traditionally when I brew this coffee with AeroPress, there are notes of dark chocolate and hints of spices, but as an espresso it is fierce. I literally had jitters after having this coffee. Considering it is such a bold coffee, I prefer to have bold coffees with milk because they complement very well with milk. So here we go. So if you like black coffee and you like to have your espresso neat, this must be a cringe moment for you. Sorry for that. But as I have been having this coffee for quite a long time and this just shines with milk. So if you like milk-based coffee drinks, this is the coffee you need to try. So even with milk, this coffee is fierce. Now on to cleaning the Flair. So this is the part that needs to be cleaned, and this is the pressure gauge. We'll just take it out because even after you are done brewing, there is some part of pressure that is left in the brewing chamber. So you can simply pipe the pressure gauge with the tissue and that's it. Now we'll separate the filter basket and the brewing chamber. Both are very hot because, as I mentioned earlier, the brewing chamber weighs around 650 grams. That's a heavy metal part. So there is some water left in the filter basket, which should not be the case, which means I didn't do it well. So that's a good sign to judge in the post-brewing stage. This is the coffee puck that is out. So when you take the coffee puck out, make sure that you save the filter screen before throwing it in the bin or wherever you keep your pucks. I keep them in a basket so I can use them later for plants or as a body scrub. So this is the filter screen. Wash it, put it aside. It is very difficult to get spare parts, or if you lose the filter screen or if you lose the portafilter, it is very difficult to get parts in the market or from a seller. So wash them, put them away. That is the way to do it. So I've rinsed both of them with water, just wipe them up with the tissue later and we're done. So as you can see that the pressure gauge mount is down once you brew with this, so it gets pushed down during the brewing process. So there is this tool that comes along with the Flair, and this is what you need to do before putting things back in the case. Push it down slowly. There are O-rings inside the brewing chamber that will make sure that this pushing is smooth, and there it is back in its position. That's all. Thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful.